says that well-written text that is coherent, that means it's clear, carefully considered and sensible, makes us think what we are reading is reliable and authoritative, so it's respected, accurate and important sounding.
Yes, chatbots might appear to write in this way, but really they are just predicting one word after another based on what they have learned. We should therefore be on guard, be careful and alert about the accuracy of what we are being told.
One concern is that chatbots, a form of artificial intelligence, work a bit like a human brain in the way they learn and process information. They're able to learn from experience, something called deep learning.
A cognitive psychologist and computer scientist called Geoffrey Hinton recently said he feared that chatbots could soon overtake the level of information that a human brain holds. That's a bit scary, isn't it?
But for now, chatbots can be useful for practical information. But sometimes we start to believe they are human and we interact with them in a human-like way. This can make us believe them even more. Professor Emma Bender, speaking on the BBC's Word of Mouth programme, explains why we might feel like that.
I think what's going on there is the kinds of answers you get depend on the questions you put in, because it's doing likely next word. And so if, as the human interacting with this machine, you start asking it questions about how do you feel, chatbot, and what do you think of this, and what are your goals, you can provoke it to say things that sound like what a sentient entity would say. We are really primed to imagine a mind behind language whenever we encounter language. And so we really have to account for that when we're making decisions about these.
So, although a chatbot might sound human, we really just ask it things to get a reaction. We provoke it. And it answers only with words it's learned to use before, not because it has come up with a clever answer. But it does sound like a sentient entity. Sentient describes a living thing that experiences feelings.
As Professor Bender says, we imagine that when something speaks, there is a mind behind it. But, sorry Neil, they are not your friend. They're just machines.
Yes, it's strange then that we sometimes give chatbots names. Alexa, Siri. And earlier, I asked you what the name was for the first ever chatbot.
And I guessed it was Parry. Was I right?
You guessed wrong, I'm afraid. Parry was an early form of chatbot from 1972, but the correct answer was Eliza. It was considered to be the first chatterbot, as it was called then, and was developed by Joseph Weizenbaum at Massachusetts Institute of Technology.
Fascinating stuff. Okay, now let's recap some of the vocabulary we highlighted in this program. Starting with sophisticated, which can describe technology that is advanced and complex.
Something that is coherent, is clear, carefully considered and sensible.
Authoritative means respected, accurate and important sounding.
When you are on guard, you must be careful and alert about something. It could be the accuracy of what you see or hear, or just being aware of the dangers around you.
To provoke means to do something that causes a reaction from someone.
Sentient describes something that experiences feelings, so it's something that is living. Once again, our 6 minutes are up. Goodbye.
Bye for now.
6 Minute English from BBC.
Hello, this is 6 Minute English from BBC Learning English. I'm Sam.
And I'm Neil.
In the autumn of 2021, something strange happened at the Google headquarters in California's Silicon Valley. A software engineer in Des Moines was working on the artificial intelligence project Language Models for Dialogue Applications, or for short. Lambda is a chatbot, a computer program designed to have conversations with humans.